give me a second. How's it going? Just give me a moment. Hello, hello. Give me a second. I need to test it out in case people wanna tune in here. Hello, hello. Sorry about this. Just give me a second. Hello, hello. All right, we're in business. All right. We're doing this for the discipline. Doing this for the discipline. So, I am carrying on the sketch. Who knows? Maybe next stream I'll do a study. Nah, I think one thing I could do is basically fill up sketches. Maybe like stream a couple times throughout the week. Put my sketches in the same canvas, and then just post it up on Instagram when I'm done, and post it up on Discord. That could be cool. So let's get started. I think the link is already posted up. So let's get it moving. Okay, so I think today was the day that I finished the Dave Raposa. I don't know. Yesterday was the day where I finished the Dave Raposa painting challenge. Not really painting, more concept art. But so far, I'm looking in the Discord, and it is well received, which is nice. This is seeing as how I kind of worked really hard on that thing. I'm going to do some finishing touches on this Omni-Man here. And then I'm going to do... not sure what else. I could do a Wonder Woman. I could do a Conquest. Maybe a Battle Beast. You know, I don't think I'm ready for a Battle Beast. I'm too scared. I'm really bad at drawing fur. But I don't know, it'll come one day. And when that happens, I'll be prepared. You know, who knows? Maybe to prepare for this project, I can do some sketches, some studies of maybe a lion, jaguar. Who knows? You know, I think the hardest part about streaming in this time is that, well, it's like I leave home. No, not. I leave work at 6, and at 6, that's when everyone's home. and that's when that those are prime streaming hours. I don't get those streaming hours because I'm too busy. Is he taking a commute back home? Also, when I get home, I don't really stream, which is kind of stupid. I'd like maybe like one thing I could do is when I get home, I take a shower immediately, eat some food, and then start streaming. And then maybe more people would hop on. But that's a wild if. Also, I think. I think. I'm thinking of posting my challenge entry on. Thinking of posting my channel entry on Instagram or ArtStation. I'm not sure. Most likely ArtStation. I don't know, maybe Instagram. Okay, you know what? That's a lot of fiddling with the. A lot of fiddling with the internet. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta start. I gotta start painting more. I should get some reference. I can't just count on just imagination. Just saving some research. Yeah, no, this is a problem. Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm sorry. Just, you know what? Yeah. No. No. Okay. This is something that I can work with. Maybe I should do it early in the morning, like Dan. Yeah, no. Just doing some finishing touches, and then I will. I think also one of the hardest parts about social media is I don't know. It's like maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't put my political opinions. Not like not that I'm like posting like rants about how I think like Trump is like the coming of Antichrist. Although I don't like him, I do not like him on any at all. But it just feels like hmm, it's like it's kind of like it's just one of the reasons why social media is just a terrible place because it's like it's if you find out about if they find out about your political beliefs, then it's either like people either love you or they hate you, and it's just this and it's just this like there's no in between. Also, they expect you to basically just get like to believe everything that they believe. Well, I think Democrats purity test a lot. Republicans, they don't really do that. But in the end, I think I remember one time I posted a a story about essentially how I think kids in the LGBTQ spectrum were being treated and how negative that could be. And I posted it on my story, and like an old friend from high school who is a gay Republican was like, "Hey, where's the punchline?" I just felt like I felt like the Joker when he was talking to Murray. He was like, "There is no punchline." I like it's like I'm not happy with the establish with how things are going with our country politically. And I feel like it's like if I just do that, it's like well, it's like guess what, you're an artist. It's like no one's asking you to be on your soapbox preaching about like how how much you like you disagree with conservative politics. No one wants to hear about how you believe like how you still like capitalism, but you want a capitalist system with stronger safety nets, in the form of let's say like a strong social programs and possibly a universal basic income. No one gives a shit. Just draw the pictures. It's like that annoying meme that the kids that I watch over in my part-time job say, just put the fries in the bag, bro. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. And it's like, it's annoying, and it makes me want to punt you across the field. Joking. I'm joking, of course. I would never partake in physical abuse to a child. but it's true. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Put the fries in the bag. And I don't know. It's just. I just can't help but just it's like I can't help but just be passionate about stuff like this because I come from an immigrant family, and it's like this country has been so anti-immigrant, and it's when they're essentially putting illegals, not legals, I don't know, they may have supposed illegals, because some are illegal and some are not, the lack of due process is crazy. It's just that's very concerning, and very it's like I have a family of immigrants, and it's like what if that happens to them, you know what if they get deported? And if that happened, I'd be like rip shit pissed off. It's like it's like you put my aunt, my Dia, in a fucking prison in Venezuela or something. I don't know. I'm not sure where the country. I sound very ignorant right now. And it's like that's not cool. That's not based at all. But at the same time, it's very I want to say it's complicated, and there is some sort of because it's very impactful, but I think as a cartoonist, not a cartoon, as a person in the arts, it's very social media, very social, more community, for better and for worse. And you're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. And I'm not sure, if I have, it's like Kylo Ren. I'm not sure if I have the strength to do it. I'm not sure if it's like. I'm not sure if I, you know. I'm not sure if I have the, wherewithal or the social intelligence to know know when to be honest about how I feel about things, or just keep it to myself. And I think the wise option is to just keep it to myself, right? Because it's you know, Invincible might be might be a story about change, and it's and how yeah, concern in some, I don't know, weird political, in some academic political theory esque way, conservatives are against change. But it's I don't really think that's it's an anti-conservative thing. It's a life thing. People change. People come and go. Things change. You know. But then again, I sound like a retard right now. Oh wait, shit! I said the R word. Ah no, and the streaming service got it. Oh no, I am not gonna make money off of this, aren't I? But then again, no one's here, so I wasn't gonna make money off this anyway. Finishing touches. Maybe I should search up Omni-Man cosplay. Wait. Holy. Wow. There's a. Dude, there's a. I'm not sure if this is AI generated or Photoshop, but this looks pretty awesome. Apparently, Jeffrey Dean. There's like a picture of Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Omni Man, and it looks great. I gotta say. Like, it looks like Nolan. Like, if you just shave the beard, dude, it's him. Like, it's him down to the T. Honestly, if they make a live action Invincible movie, if I hope they do it when Jeffrey Dean Morgan is still, you know, you know, in his like prime, and not prime-ish years, but like he's still, I don't know, spry enough to do the role. But who knows? AI slop. Very few people come to my streams. I'm sad. I feel like a neglected grandma. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm thinking about my grandma. Fuck. It's cliched, but I wish I visited her more. But now I'm too much of a selfish idiot. And now she's gone. You know what? I think I had some positive memories. Visiting grandma's house every Sunday. I kind of hated it because, well, it's like it was boring and it smelled. I looked at it as boring. It smelled weird because of the floor, and it didn't like there was nothing to do. It didn't, or her cable plan didn't have Cartoon Network. Later on, it didn't even have TBS. But there were still some happy memories. Watching Chappelle Show, eating food, speaking with her. And now she's in a better place. I don't want to say gone. Some part of her still lives on. But in the end, it's still kind of like a reminder that I'm kind of getting older. Then again, everything is reminding me that I'm getting older. My job is literally a reminder that I'm getting older. I look at my mom's hair and their gray and white streaks, and it's just a reminder that I'm getting older. And times like these are, kind of scary for me. I mean, I'm making some progress. Like I like to think. Like no one, like you don't, you're not supposed. Like at the age of 25, you're not supposed to have it all together, and that's comforting. But at the same time, it's like it's like at 25 you can be a moron. It's no problem. There's virtually no difference between a 25-year-old with no life experience and a 22-year-old with no life experience. So like when you reach that big age, when at that age, the big 3-0, that's when things start to change. People aren't exactly as thrilled at you at that point. You know, because like you're not 22 anymore. It's like, what have you been doing with your life for the past 10 years? You know? And I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too harsh for 30-year-olds. Because so hard. Like it was like millennials, life-wise, haven't had the best go of things either. And when it comes to not owning a home, I feel like they're in the same boat as us. Gen Zers. You know? But still. And maybe, I don't know. There's this YouTuber called Dry Creek Rank called I'm not sure what. He runs this YouTube channel called Dry Creek Wrangler School, and he talks about this. Honestly, it's a big help. I listen to it. Calms me down. One thing I want to appreciate more is, I don't know, like a long night. I think one night that I did enjoy in my more unemployed years were night drives with my dad. I remember having a night drive with my dad and going to Burger King. And yeah, Burger King makes basically just processed trash, but I don't know, maybe it was something in the air, but that burger didn't taste half bad. Felt great. Tasted great. I feel like moments like those are nice. I don't know. I feel like when I get older, and if I have kids, which if I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna have to basically kind of like finally nut up and get out there and find a girlfriend, which is going to be hard, especially for people on the spectrum. But if I find a son, no, if I not find a son, if I have a son, I would like to do the same thing. Take him out on a night drive. Get some shitty fast food. Talk about life. Those small moments. Small moments like that. Make life less sucky. AI slop. You know, one thing I would like to see before I die is a movie where Wolverine was actually is his comic accurate height. Because when I saw that Deadpool versus Wolverine scene with like short Wolverine, and they just laughed, or they just basically just laughed at him, and then moved on. It's like, oh, that's not Wolverine. I was pissed off, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of turned off to the movie, because it's like what, like I like short Wolverine, because like I don't know, it's like I'm looking at I'm 6 foot, so I don't know, like I feel like the fact that I'm saying that, it's like I look online and I look at how like short guys are being treated, especially in the dating market, and I just feel sad for them. It's like, god damn, it's like you guys are literally being looked down on, and it's like, what the fuck? No, it's like what happened? It's like there are dozens of very cool short people who might be short in stature, but have still managed to do great things. Kevin Hart, Kendrick Lamar, you know? I go at my job. I look at some of the men who pick up their kids, and one of them is like insanely short. And I've seen their wives, pick up the kids, and the wives are absolute dime pieces. And it's like, it's like, come on. It's like, you're not giving them enough credit. It's like you're just looking down on them for their height over something they can't control. It's like, I know it's a very, very cliched thing to say, but, it's like, what if I bring up this double standard of, it's like, you look down on, where you talk about, like, how, your man can't be like below a certain height, and then that's okay. But when I say a woman can't be below this certain like weight or like body mass index, then I'm a piece of shit. It's like, no, it's like no, you can't do that. You can't say that. It's like, oh really? Well, it's like, I feel like what you're saying is more cruel and more exclusionary, because that's something the guy can't control. Like, like life, like you don't get to you don't get to customize your character. Like Dark Souls or Oblivion or Baldur's Gate. Like, no, you don't get to choose your height. It's given to you. You don't get to choose it. Therefore, whereas you can do something about your height. Take walks. Go on treadmills, practice discipline. And yet, it's like that's overlooked in the whole discussion. And I understand you're entitled to your preference, but at the same time, you could be respectful and not, you know, basically just condescend to and look down on men with shorter statures. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Wolverine is kind of like that, that trope where it's like, yeah, he's short. He's, he's not a man of great stature, but he can go up against guys like the Hulk and the Juggernaut. Like he's still a giant badass, and he still manages to kind of like have that power like not power fantasy, manages to like pull and be a knockout with ladies. He still has like that, that raw, male, sexual edge to him. That kind of like, it's like that also makes him cool. But no, it's like, oh, he's short. And that kind of just turned me off to like Deadpool versus Wolverine. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I kind of hate the fact that, like, I don't like, it's Hugh Jackman and like that's his role. Fair enough. But it's like, come on. That's not Wolverine. Why is he so tall? Wolverine, like I think Marvel Rivals got that right, where Wolverine was like very short. Like he was like he's not a man of great stature, but he's still like a very, very he's still a very powerful character. Like Wolverine in Marvel Rivals, like yeah, he's short, but the dude can go up against tanks. It's like when you're Thor or Magneto, the worst thing you could run into is a Wolverine. Because when he gets to you, it's game over. You're basically like when you're in it, you're like, oh god, get this manimal away from me, get this fucking asshole away from me, fuck. And he's like, oh, just slicing you with his claws. That's Wolverine. But no, they want tall, sexy Hugh Jackman. And it's like, that's fair, fine. But at the same time, it's like, it's like really, it's like you talked all that good, all this shit about, body positivity. But the moment you could like, where you could like actually tall, like, practice what you preach, you want to have like super heroines look like regular girls, but you still want sexy Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine and have that shirtless scene. It's like, at this point, am I supposed to take you seriously? It's like, no. Nah. Hypocrisy. It's detestable, yet it's all around us. It's like they want to be, they want to be mid, but they still want to get the not mid guy. And that's never gonna happen. That's a power. That's a mutant power that only we can get. That only guys can get. Yeah. Why? Because we have to. We know we're not Hugh Jackman. We know we're not Henry Cavill. We gotta adapt. We gotta overcome. We gotta get good at something. We gotta get good at cooking. We have to be funny. All right. We gotta make. We gotta make money. That's how we. That's how we. That's how we get them. We gotta, we gotta read some biology books, so that way, we have a extensive knowledge of how female anatomy works. So when we finally get that opportunity, boom, we get return customers, cause we're smart. And you're done. No, no, no. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be. No, I'm not gonna be misogynistic. I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a shitty Andrew Tate podcast. I'm not goofy like that. But no, yeah, no. I would love to see a. I would love to see a Wolverine movie where Wolverine is like 5'3", and like at first it's not a joke. It's kind of a joke, but then everyone's silent because it's like everyone, including the villains, are silent because while they were too busy laughing at his height, Wolverine immediately just fucking leaped at the bad guy or one of the minions, one of the bigger, heavier minions, and just eviscerated them like it's nothing. Because that's Wolverine. Don't underestimate him. Because like Wolverine's like in the wild can literally, they can literally go up against animals twice their size. And that's what makes Wolverine cool, in my opinion. He's like the absolute underdog. Not to mention he's also immortal, and that's also pretty cool. I'm jealous of Wolverine. I'd like to be immortal. Then again, I don't know. Being immortal probably suck after a while. Maybe if I were immortal, I would probably kind of like 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 when they're in the hospital, I'd be like, yes, now's my chance. Like blood transfusion, dad, mom, sister, cousins, my family would be here with me for a couple more centuries. Boom, right there. I won't have that existential angst of being alone or outliving anyone I care about. Also, healing factor, the ability to just walk off injuries. Dude, that'd be cool. I'd be a blast at parties. Just, just do stupid stuff to impress girls. It's like, hey ladies, look at this. I do an insanely stupid stunt, break my neck, and stand up, then my neck just rearranges itself back to normal. Then again, that probably scare them away. Yeah. Hopefully this won't destroy the painting. Maybe I could start on something new. No, we gotta finish this. I'm afraid of what I'll be as a father. I mean, granted, I haven't gotten anyone pregnant, and thank God for that. Because, well, I still have some stuff I'd like to accomplish. And I'm probably going to have to sacrifice a lot of things if I'm going to be a father. I'm probably going to have to, stop doing this. Maybe get a job in IT. Maybe find another job for a while. Pick up some more shifts. I don't want to do any of that. Sometimes I thank God that I'm terrible with ladies. Because I have to do all that shit if I got one pregnant. But yeah, no, I'd still like to have kids one day. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, how will I be as a father? I don't want to be, weak. I don't know. I'd like to be an example of strength when I need to be. Because I don't know. Because I'm afraid of when I get robbed. Do I cower in the corner? When my son's there, he'll obviously lose respect for me. I don't want to do that. No one's here. I think it's time to start. Something else. Sorry about that, just looking for something. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, shit. You know what? That's okay. No. Okay. There it is. You know, I feel like I'm looking at the. I'm looking. Oh shit! No. Sorry about that. Just give it a second. Fucking ads. Okay. So, I'm looking at some of the Invincible art, and I have to say, like there throughout the series, there have been two consistent artists in the series, and I feel like Corey Walker, like Ryan Otley is great. He's amazing, quite frankly, but Corey Walker, like, there's been kind of like a growth and a style that I've really come to kind of like appreciate in his works and like throughout the story. And honestly, it looks great. I think it's great. I very much love the work of Corey Walker. I approve, like, I don't know, like, this is like, I'm looking at his stuff and it's great. It's like really great. I love his line work and I love his expressions. Like it's like it has style and a really great sense of economy. Like I think he was kind of like the head designer on the Invincible TV show. And honestly, I could see why, because essentially it's like Ryan Otley's work. It's a like Ryan Otley is a great artist, but at the same time, like he is very detailed. He is very particular, and animation takes a long time, and economy is very important because every second counts in animation because you're essentially given a budget and time. And quite frankly, it's like for the first season, they were given kind of like almost like a year and a half to prepare, maybe. I think maybe more, but like now they don't get that luxury, which is why they get the they get the they get the flack that they get now, where it's like, oh, PNG Invincible, the animation's so bad, and it's like, well, you try and work under these constraints. You try and do that, and honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of admire it. Also, it's like I don't know. It's like I feel like I look at the animation that's been done, and it's like it's stupid, but it's like it's with that skill, with that not skill with that with what they're putting out. It's like maybe in my delusional head, I'm like, hey, maybe I can be part of the staff. Maybe Skybound can hire me, as an animator for Invincible. You know, all I just get just put me on. Like all I need is Blender, some PNGs. You know, it's nothing fancy, but it'll do. Put me on, Chief. I could do it. Cause like even like the even like the more tragic scenes, like Omni Man flying through space after beating Mark half to death. It's like you don't really need that much animation for scenes like that. For like to kind of like cement what's happening emotionally, and that's awesome. That is cool in my opinion. Sorry, I'm looking for I I'm a huge fan of the comic book series. I love Ryan Otley and I love Cory Walker, but it's been a while since I've flipped through a comic book or their comic books to be specific, and I'm trying to look for something. Shit. This is gonna take longer than it needs to be. I should have gathered reference before this. I'm sorry. This is unprofessional. Then again, no one's watching, so what do I care? Jesus Christ. Where is it? Where has the image gone? It was here just a minute ago. Trying to find some conquest designs. Oh, here it is. It's kind of fucked up to say, but out of my favorite villains, Conquest, Thrag, those are like those are the two favorites. Like just aura alone. Also, I don't know. I know being a Viltrumite is probably kind of like a very probably like not a fun life, but god damn it, it's like if you could be an alien, I'd be either a Saiyan, a Viltrumite, or a Kryptonian, because those are the most like badass, like the most badass life forms to be. Because like you still look like a human, but you have, like still have this like amazing. It's like you still have this like amazing power. It's fun to kind of imagine yourself in these positions where like you're kind of like in a superhero universe and you have that power, and like it's of course like you'd be like a good guy, but like it's also pretty fun like being the vengeful villain, you know like something bad happens to someone you care about and the heroes could have stopped it, but they didn't, and they're like and they've also kind of like been dicks to you, and they're not like apologizing, and so like your family gets involved, and like they say the wrong things, and then essentially they look at you and they're like, don't take too long, and then you're like, oh, it's like I finally get to kick the shit out of them. I finally get to live my passive aggressive fantasies of you know being angry at them for not inviting me to their stuff. This is what you get for not inviting me to Dungeons and Dragons. Crack! Oh my god! My arm! It's immature, yeah. Still, Though, I'm sorry. I feel like Jeffrey Dean Morgan would have made a really cool Thrag instead of Conquest. Like the guy who the guy who played Thor from God of War. Oh my god, he would have made an amazing Conquest. Don't matter. Like it kind of like it just fits. It's like I've been waiting for this. Come on, show me your rage. It's like, dude, like, look, just go to go to if like if you played God of War Ragnarok, like you would know, you just get it. I've been waiting for this. Blood payment. Yo. Actually, no, I don't know. Like a better voice for Thrag would be the guy from Breaking Bad who played I don't know. He played he was the guy like who was very tough. He's like Walter, like him. I'm looking him up right now. Mike, the guy who played Mike, dude, he'd be amazing. Walter. I think he'd be a great he'd be a great conquest because well it's like it he's grizzled, he's old. It's like Jonathan Banks has pretty extensive experience with playing old grizzled characters. Then again, I don't really think he has that range. Then again, I don't know, maybe because like I haven't really gotten far enough in Breaking Bad, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, legitimately. So you think you can stop me soon? You're given order. wonder what I can draw next. Possibly a Nissa. I'm not sure if I can. I don't know. Because maybe not. Nissa's a very controversial character. Because, like, she's a very evil woman who essayed the main character of the story. But at the same time, she's also very hot. So it's like, it's like common sense, let's be healthy about this. This is not good. And it's like a side between like logic and like gooners. And I'm kind of conflicted because I know she's I know what she did is pretty awful, but at the same time she is pretty hot. So it's like my like my common sense left brain and my gooner right brain are just fighting each other. It's like we could fix her. It's like no, she's committed war crimes. Your face is a war crime. If you lowered your standards, you get laid more. Looking for facial reference. worst thing you could do is paint. Paint with like yeah, I suck at painting mustaches too. It's hard when they're white. that fucking book. I'll check after the stream. Jesus Christ. God. All right, now. gonna be harder to render. Then again, maybe it's my fault for trying to render, especially in the sketch phase, but I couldn't help it. big old egghead effect. No, don't. Yeah, it's almost there. Come on, let's go. Let's go. No. Sorry. Um, I don't know. So, I don't know what. Pop up. Pop up. Looking for some reference and then it just. I don't know. Looking for some reference and then this just happened. It's weird. The internet sucks. But we stay. Well, we need it. You know what? Hold on. I have an idea. I'm not gonna paint it now, but it might come up in a later thing. Yeah, this has been very boring, uneventful. This has been 2 hours. I'm clocking out. Thank you to my 0 viewers for not watching this. Doing it for the discipline.